Take your time.
It felt like it was someone either totally about to lose control or somebody who has lost control.
Yeah, it definitely feels like just on the edge of control.
I don't know why I think of this word, but for some reason I think of synergy.
One body of energy sucking the energy from another.
Grasping at the very last vestiges of whatever control you have over your life.
Or somebody who's lost all control and they are gone. They are falling, free falling.
I feel it in kind of right below my sternum. That's where my heart sinks when I get, you know, lost or scared.
Kind of biologically influenced too, because I think it kind of looks like a sperm in some ways. And then there's some kind of electrical aspects to it that reminds me of that. The first word that I think of when I see it is destructive.
I feel like I'm getting suffocated a little bit.
I almost get like a feeling like with my lungs, you take a big breath before you like jump in something. It's not coming at me, but it's just like you see it and it's just, you're like, piercing, worrisome, it's negative.
A pang of terror.
I kind of feel like anxiety, like a tightness in the chest, kind of.
That's what I feel too.
And it's trying to be as untouchable as possible.
You wouldn't want to touch that, you know, you kind of have like this question and like you don't like it, it's not a good thought about it.
But it's like almost like a toddler trying to peek out from his fingers. You know, he's covering his eye.
It's not like evil chaos, it's just, it exists.
You know, all sirens are blaring and it's whatever is on the inside of that is protecting itself from everything else.
When I look at this painting, I see something that's incredibly human, but at the same time, incredibly alien.
Where do you find these human qualities?
Veins or like, I don't know, some type of connection to like organs or something like that.
The center definitely feels like an embryo.
You have all these like veins and capillaries mixed together with almost these human organ representations. Small intestines, the womb, the brain.
This could be like veins, arteries.
Veins, capillaries, arteries. You know.
I was thinking almost kind of like an umbilical cord.
Child-parental relationship.
It almost like has qualities of like a bird or like an animal. Like I feel like this gray piece kind of looks like a talon, like grabbing something.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have totally been subconscious, which it probably was.
Of how kind of open and exposed everything looks. Like I feel like we're looking at the inside of something. Like it's kind of just been like...
This area right here kind of represents like a beak and like the eyeball. Like, you know,
oh,
like
yeah!
Yeah, doesn't it kind of?
Oh, I can totally see that.
We're seeing inside of it, broken open, and we are on the inside.
Do you see it?
I totally see it! At first it just looked, oh my gosh. At first it just looked like a random splattering of different, well, like at least I thought organs. The brain suddenly, like this has always looked like the brain to me. But yet this looks like a snout. Like it looks like what it's supposed to be.
Claws.
Yes.
It's like one of those double visual images, you know? Where it's like, oh, is it a vase or is it two heads?
Yeah, I looked at it as the what you bring me here for as the center of the piece.
Even though it has text, I never like to rely too much on looking at text when I look at artwork.
The why you bring me here,
You didn't even notice it?
Like, I mean, I see it there, but I don't think about it.
Which is funny, because I'm
the opposite.
I'm like an English major, and so the first thing I focused was, you know, was the words. And you thought that was the least important. And you're an architecture major, which is why you felt like jaws, talent, and that was the linear quality of this painting. Ah!
It just reminds me of like melting sunflowers.
With A and both B, you have those tiny hairs like stretching out towards the top and stretching out towards the bottom, almost like a magnet.
Oh, okay, I see
One wants
that
to go
now.
down, and they're both pulling in opposite directions. And what grows around them is this like mossy substance.
I didn't feel it in my feet until Robert started talking about moss.
All the lines are encompassed
Dude,
inside that mossy thing.
Is it going together or is it breaking apart?
Oh, they are both forming a shape though. Do you see that oval?
Yeah.
I see like literally our world splitting into two.
Imagine it like this. Have you ever seen those like pictures of the Earth?
When you take a map and you
You know how like the Earth used to be Pangea?
Oh, Pangea, yeah.
yeah, like
Everything was together, but now everything's apart. But like if you were to kind of like put everything together, you know where they go. And then going back to that idea that we had earlier where it looks like this mossy thing that's like growing and just it's organic and it keeps just growing in different ways. What if these are the lines that connect them and they're just waiting to keep growing into one whole piece and combine into a whole?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I love about this?
Huh.
Is you have these black lines that are very definite.
The lines that are going up are kind of like crying out to each other, like they want to be united.
They could have used black lines, and what would that have made you feel? There would be a whole different feeling to
yeah,
the
no,
picture.
totally. If there was all black lines, you'd feel this cohesive connection. But like since
Cohesive?
there's black and white,
I would say if there was all black lines, there would be a negative.
no,
There
oh,
would
okay.
be-
It's kind of like a compression, like comfortable, like a hug or like that sort of like.
definitely pleasing. Like it's definitely peaceful.
The warmth of like a hand.
There's a dichotomy
I don't care.
between our like understanding of this
Yeah.
relationship.
But isn't that the whole point of abstract art?